Peace, fam. It's your brother Cool. Islam. It's another great day. Another great day. Amen. Rise out here in full effect. And this video, we want to get into the mathematics. All right, we want to get into the mathematics of what it means to be a more, aka yourself. Let me ask you a question though, before I get started. If you saw a baby and the baby had no belly button, and then if you ask the baby, hey, who's your mom? Or where are you from? The baby's like, I don't remember. Or the baby tells you, or the name of the place the baby gives you doesn't exist. Doesn't exist anywhere on the planet. So then it makes you think like, yo, this baby ain't got no belly button. I ask you where it's from. Where it says it's from is not on this planet. Anywhere. So what does that leave the person? Like, what conclusion is someone left to come to other than you're a thing, or something's wrong with you because you don't know, or maybe you're an alien. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not from this planet, because everyone on this planet here got a belly button. I don't care what artificial ass color you identify as, but everyone here has a belly button. Why? Because everyone here has a mother. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. Everyone here has a mother. No one is here without a mother. If you got here and you ain't got no mother, and I'm not talking about, oh, my mom transitioned when she gave birth to me. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about because you still have a mother. She's just not living here anymore. But she was here to produce your ass. Okay? So let's stop playing the games. Everyone who is living on this planet today has a mother, has a father. May not have a relationship with their mother and their father. Their mother and their father may not even be living. But, hello. But regardless of the fact, they exist nonetheless. You know why they exist? Because you exist. So because you exist, therefore they have to exist. Now, if you exist and they don't exist, where does that leave you in human society? How is the rest of the world supposed to view you when everyone on this motherfucking planet got a mama? Except for your ass. What does that look like? I know what that looks like. I could give you a few clues as to what that looks like. For instance, that looks like people who look like me, male or female, being discriminated against. People who look like you and me, they'll outrightly get violated. Outrightly. Tased, shot, dragged out their car, windows bashed in, they get manhandled, they get smashed in the face, they get shot in the back. Nobody goes to court. Nobody goes to prison. As a matter of fact, the opposite happens. These niggas, and when I say niggas, I'm talking about the scientific name for negro llavero, all right, which is the white chimpanzee. Just science and mathematics. Science and mathematics. That's all. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect happens when you choose to identify as a thing and then get mad when that thing doesn't have the same rights as people? Why are you getting mad? It's not racism. Whoever's been telling you it's racism has been lying to you for the past since the beginning. Since Columbus came, niggas been lying. Before Columbus came, niggas was lying. All right? And when I say niggas, I'm not just limiting it to skin complexion. When I say niggas, I mean aboriginal peoples who do not think like themselves, who think outside of their who think outside of their race of people, who think outside of their particular group or particular class. Those type of niggas. All right? Who know nothing about self. They don't know nothing about self, but they want to tell you everything else about the world. You want to tell me everything about the world, but you don't know not a goddamn lick nothing about your mom's history, pop's history, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle. You don't know a lick. You don't know shit about what your family been through. What cataclysmic events they were actually a part of, or their ancestors were a part of. You don't know nothing about that, but you want to tell everyone else about Allah, God, you know what I'm saying? All these different deities and creations, but you can't even give me a goddamn lick about your own family history. Hypocrisy, man. Hypocrisy. So what I'm trying to break down is that being a Moor is way more than being black. Being black is way more less. And in this day and age, you're either going to choose to be two things on this planet. You're going to either be two things. You're either going to be two things, okay, on this planet. Two things. Either you're going to be yourself or you're not going to be yourself. And there's no room for anything else other than that. Because I'll tell you what, if you're not going to be yourself, you ain't going to be on this planet. Because how things are happening here on this planet, all right, on Geb, how things are happening here, it's starting to get hot again. The climate's starting to change. Glaciers are starting to melt. Water's going to rise. Earthquakes and hurricanes are going to happen. People are going to die. Secrets are going to come out. Oh, shit. All this is happening already. Yeah, you're late. If you're watching this video today and you still identified in the Census Bureau in the United States Corporation Company as black, you're still out to lunch. You're still in danger. You are not safe. I don't care how well you think you're living. You are not safe. All those people who have big bank accounts, millions and shit like that, y'all need to read up on the bankruptcy of the United States, because you would know that these so-called Federal Reserve notes, the more of them you have, the deeper in debt you are. See? You see? You see? This is why our ancestors weren't attached. We weren't focused on money like that. Even when we was transferring in gold and silver and precious metals and shit like that, our whole shit wasn't about the money. It was about the experience. You know what makes a person rich? It's not making a sale or starting up a business and then making profit. That's not what makes a person rich. Let me tell you what makes a person rich. What makes a person rich is the ability to start a company or business and provide something that a community actually needs, not just something that's out of like vanity. You know what I'm saying? If it's out of vanity, then what is the real importance of it? There's no real why, because it's like it can come and it can go, because it doesn't really serve anything. It's kind of just here. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like a lot of us, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of us get lost. You know what I'm saying? And we're out to lunch because we're thinking it's all about the materialistic shit. I gotta get this, I gotta get that. And it's like, that's never been our MO. It's never been about the money. It's never been about the notes. It's never been about the gold. It's never been about the silver. It's about the experience. You know what the experience is? You know what the experience does to a soul? It's not constructing a business, you start making sales, you start making profits. That's not what feeds the soul. You know what feeds the soul? The satisfaction one gets from receiving the services that one offers. Because from that you can see the importance that what you do serves, not only in your immediate community, but on the motherfucking planet. What you do is going to be added into the archive known as world history. I hope you know that. Everything everyone has done on this planet, whether they are well known or not, has contributed to world history here on Geb, on this planet. So everything you do contributes to history. Everything. You know why? Because whether you're well known or not, you're going to be spoken of by our future heirs at some point or not, whether it's in a positive light or a negative light. Our names will run off the tongues of our children the same way the names of our ancestors run off our tongues. They're not forgotten. Not forever anyway. We may go to sleep for a few hundred years or so, but they're not eternally forgotten. You know what I'm saying? It's not a closed casket. So we have to comprehend that the process of creating your own business or your own trust, finding in yourself, what can I provide? How can I serve my people? How can I serve my nation the best? That not only serves them, but fulfills me at the same time, to where I'm being fulfilled because what? I'm being given energy for my work. And in return, the person who's contracted with me is receiving energy, good energy, quality energy, because I put quality energy into my work. Okay? That's what our ancestors lived for. That's why they got and they put wares and merchandise together and got on their little caravans and started traveling across the globe selling their shit. It wasn't about the profit. It wasn't about the ends. It was about the experience of making the sale and seeing how what they offered, how much the person who bought that, what type of impact it made on their life. You understand what I'm saying? It could go in something as simple as jewelry. I can make a piece for someone, and in that piece, imagine if that piece now becomes a family heirloom, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, my grandma, she wore this her whole life, or majority of her life. You know, before she died, she gave this to me. Now I'm passing it on to you. That's the impact that I will have made in that family. Because I'm the creator of that thing that is now considered a precious family heirloom. I provided that. That is what enriched my heart. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it works. It doesn't work off of the money. If you're doing this shit for the money or for the funds, you're not going to get far. The only reason why I got this far is because I came into nationality from my heart. Because it wasn't just about, oh man, you know, we're always on the low level of economics. We don't really own a lot of things. That wasn't the reason why I proclaim my nationality. I proclaim my nationality because I'm not black. That's not my inheritance. That's not who I am. That's not who my ancestors were. That's why I proclaim my nationality, because I wanted to correct something that was not correct. I wanted to correct something that was wrong. Not only for me, but for my future. You see, so now from my generation going forward, in regards to my individual family, there's a shift now. I'm making a change. So from this point forward, there's a drastic change in the thought process of my family and how we operate. So things will never be the same. Just a prime example. You see, if I didn't know my nationality, my name would have still been Jules. My child would have had the name Jules. And then the slavery would have continued. But you see, I freed myself. I freed my mind. Therefore, I am now L. My child is L. Her children will be L's. You understand what I'm saying? The mindset. I don't want to work for somebody. I need to get my own business going. That's what the children are saying now. They're not saying I need to get a job or I need to find a way to do some work so I can get paid. They're thinking I need to start thinking about my business. And I'm not talking about 10-year-old, 15-year-old. I'm talking about 5 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old. They're thinking like that. That's the shift. You know what I'm saying? That's the change now. That's the salvation that I'm bringing towards my family, towards my generations, as well as my mate towards her family line. She's making a change in her family line because she's going back to honor as I've went back to honor. So now our future has shifted from this present existence of tyranny and subjugation and assimilation. We're not experiencing those things anymore. So therefore, our children will not experience those things when they get older. You see what I'm saying? This is how you save the family. But you can't save the family with just without saving yourself first. You can't save the family and you not safe. So yes, it always comes down to one person to make the decision to say, no, I've seen the history. Things are going to be different this time. It just takes one. Just one to have that conviction. Things are going to be different this time. This lifetime is going to be different. I'm not going to be just another I'm not going to be just another statistic of bullshit that my family has endured. Going down to diseases, going down to economic poverty, going down to status. All these things are diseases. These are plagues. All right? These are plagues. Eating horrible foods all the time. That's a plague. You know what I'm saying? Smoking out your brain. All these crazy ass man-made drugs and shit like that. I don't have anything against the herb. But don't abuse it. The herb comes from the earth. I'm cool with the herb. It's not man-made. But don't abuse it. You see what I'm saying? Don't abuse it. But it's our duty to instill in ourselves and our children and everyone who comes in our cipher that we need to start going back to the natural ways. It's not just about going back to natural law, because I'll tell you what, you can't exercise natural law if you're not living naturally. So in order to be under the protections of natural law, you got to be living naturally. You can't be living artificially. You know what I'm saying? Artificial cannot inherit an organic lifestyle. So a lot of these things, because you got to think about it, it starts with self. Our minds, how we think, based off how we look at situations, how we react to situations, what we say in situations, what we say to ourselves in situations, what we think of ourselves during and after situations. All of these are diseases if you're thinking under the auspices that you are black and African American. All right? We are not black. You know what I'm saying? You see my shades? You see these glasses? These glasses are black. You see my facial hair is black. But I am not black. No, 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 no. No, 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 my friend. I am not black. Not on your wildest, not on the wildest day. Not even on a day where pigs are flying am I black. All right? I'm not black, nor am I African American. You know why I'm not African American? Because I don't have citizenship in any of the 54 countries in Africa across the water. I don't have citizenship. I'm not Senegalese. I'm not Tanzanian. I'm not Algerian. I'm not Tunisian. I'm not from the Congo. I'm not Ethiopian. Although I descend from these peoples, but I am not these peoples. You understand? So African American, it's either one or the other. Either you African or you're American. Okay? Either you are African or either you are American. And that is a very general term because we're talking about the population as a whole. Right? We're talking about the continent. We're not even talking about the different countries on the continent. We're just talking about the continent, the whole house. You know what I'm saying? So you got one house called America, you got another house called Africa. The interesting thing about America is that the original name of America is Africa. So what we call Africa today is, I would say, northeast, southeast Africa. So the Africa across the water, you know what I'm saying? If northeast, southeast. Once you come across Ethiopia, going into the Atlantic Ocean, crossing into the adjoining islands and into North, South, Central America, you know what I'm saying? Now you're talking about Northwest and Southwest Africa. because the continents were all together at one time. You know what I'm saying? So it was one big happy family. It was one big nice conglomerate. So if everything was together at one time, then we got to keep that in mind. Because if we just speak from a place where everything is separate without that reference point, we're going to be lost. We're not going to be on a stable foundation. We're just going to be drifting from plate to plate to plate to plate, never finding some solid, concrete, you know what I'm saying, truths to shit. So this is why it's way more important to be a Moor, because we can't be European, okay? And I want you to comprehend why we can't be Europeans. Simple. We're not from Europe. We didn't originate from Europe. We went into Europe and built civilizations, but we did not come up out of there. We went into that motherfucker. All right? So it's a difference when you go into a place and then you civilize it. And it's a difference when you go into a place where there's people there. You kill them and then you say that you civilized it. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So my ancestors didn't go around killing people. You know what I'm saying? And taking over people's ways of living. We coexisted with each other. We had treaties with each other. We was treating with each other before Europeans were here before Europeans were manifested here. And when I say Europeans, I mean the Caucasian people. So we always had treaties with each other. It doesn't mean that we all got along just because we were all the same complexion. Nah, we still had issues, but we resolved it because we weren't thinking war first. You know what I'm saying? We're not thinking that. We're thinking, how do we resolve the issue where both sides can be happy? Both sides can still coexist and maintain their self-autonomy without stepping on each other's toes. That's the whole point of treaties. You know what I'm saying? So treaties is an ancient thing. This is not even modern. What's modern, though, is black and African American. And those two classes of people aren't in treaties nowhere. You heard what I said? They aren't in treaties nowhere. So if you don't find them in treaties nowhere, you ain't going to find yourself on American history or world history nowhere. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to bring clarity. I want to bring clarity because a lot of people will be confused as to what should I do? How do I become a secure party creditor? How do I become a Moor? You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, man, like I've been saying, nationality is the order of the day. The prophet said, if you don't do anything else, declare your name and your nationality. What declaring your name and your nationality means, and mind you, I gotta keep this mantra up, because like I said, I'm correcting myself, and in correcting myself, I'm helping to correct the message that others might have perceived that was wrong for me. Because as I develop, my God develops, right? So I'm not afraid to admit when I've learned something new, and what I thought prior isn't what it is. So if you read up on Supreme Court cases dealing with common law, you will find that under the common law, and when I say common law, I'm talking about the laws of your traditions, your habits, and your customs. So common law isn't something that's general to everybody. Common law is dealing with your own dynamic of religion and your way of living. You know what I'm saying? What you affiliate with, what you are in agreement with, and what you are not in agreement with. That's all on you, right? Association. You choose who you wish to associate with. So according to common law, under the common law, everyone has a common law right to abide by the rules, laws, and regulations of their creed. Meaning, if I'm Muslim, I abide, you know what I'm saying, by the creed of Salat and all these other things. If I am, if I'm a Christian, I abide by the Bible, right? If I'm Muslim or Muslim, I abide by the Quran. You know what I'm saying? If I am, I don't really see the need to make more examples other than that. You know what I'm saying? So everyone has their basis. So that's what the common law is. It doesn't mean it's common to everyone, because the laws of people who abide by the Quran aren't the same as well, not identically the same as people who abide by the Bible. There are similarities, but there are differences. What I will say, there's way more similarities, there are differences, but there are differences nonetheless. So things aren't exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to respect that. So under the rules and traditions that they follow, that's their common law. So that's what people need to know. Common law isn't like something general. Common law is specific. If you are attached to your traditions, your customs, and your heritage, that's common law for you. So whatever the laws are of your class of people or your religion or your heritage, that's your common law. For me, as a Moorish American, my common law is the Zodiac Constitution. All right? The Circle 7 Quran. You see what I'm saying? That's what I abide to. The Divine Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I'm saying? That's my common law. So common law is specific. I want people to comprehend that. So when you talk about common law, if you're not tied to your ancient culture, your habits, and your customs, you have no common law. You don't have no motherfucking common law. So don't talk about common law if you're not honoring your mothers and your fathers. Because common law come with honoring your mothers and your fathers, which trumps the canon law. Like Brother Taj says every day. On point. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we have to comprehend that being Aboriginal and Autochthon, let me rephrase that, being Autochthon and original Moors, we got to take the reins. So when I say declare your nationality, put it on the public record, the court legal process is not necessary for us. You know why? Because we are not a part of the United States. We are the originators of the United States of America. I'm going to say that one more time. We are not part of the United States corporation company. We are the originators of the United States of America. When I say we, I mean we the Moors. Okay? Under the Articles of Confederation, March 1st, 1781. So, with that being said, we got to understand that being the originators, all right, we can't really be too... We're not obligated to abide by the same things. We're outside that jurisdiction. So with that being said, you got to comprehend, if you're outside that jurisdiction by being a Moorish American, then you don't need the approval of the courts to validate who you are as a Moorish American. You need to validate who you are. So what I tell people now moving forward is, get your Declaration of Nationality and Proclamation. You know what I'm saying? Seal it with your thumbprint. Mail a copy over to the Moorish Association of National Affairs, which was constructed by Brother C.M. Bay, the same brother who constructed the Zodiac Constitution. You see what I'm saying? Send your documents there. If you don't know where that's at, go check out RV Bay Publications. That's what they're dealing with. They're in alignment. Doesn't mean that I'm following RV Bay, but we're all going in the same direction. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference when you're following someone or when you're all going the same way. The paths may be a little different, but the direction is the same nonetheless. You see what I'm saying? So National Association of Moorish Affairs is our government. So when we need to get documents notarized, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, put the Moorish nation on notice that, hey, we're here, we've arrived, then that's what you do. You mail your documents out to them. You correspond with them, with your family. You know what I'm saying? And when we have issues with these foreigners, right, you present your documentation as evidence, because you're coming from the private side. When we nationalize, we're going back into the private. We're no longer dealing in the public. So this whole public realm of things is not for us. Yes, we can step into that, take advantage and utilize it if we know what we're doing, but it's not for us. We're not meant to be in the workforce working for someone. We are job creators. And I don't even want to say job creators. We are We are natural investors. By right and by inheritance, our ancestors were investors. All right? You know why I say they were investors? Because everything they put their hands on lasted for generations down the line. That's what I call investors, because they weren't just about making things or creating things for the moment. They were about building things for the future, something that would last, something that will be remembered, something that can still be used regardless of how many years has passed by. All right? That's investment mindset. I don't want to think about now. I'm trying to make money for the long run. I'm not thinking about money in the moment. That's the investment mindset. It's just that the motivation in our forefathers back then wasn't the money. It was the actual upliftment of the community, bringing something new that everyone can benefit from. That's what we fed off of. You know what I'm saying? So if you wish to be a Moorish American, study your ass off about your own family bloodline. Study your ass off on history, not just black history, world history. Study your ass off. And then when you are ready, when you feel you have it here, you are grounded in who you are, step out into the world and be who you are. Self-identification is the fundamental criteria. Oh, what's going on? You walking too?
Yeah, I gotta go to the dentist around here.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Self-identification is the fundamental criteria. So if you are not self-identifying as yourself, you are in big doo-doo. Because you should not be having no state ID, nothing. And if you do have a state ID something, you should be contracting very limitedly with that. Because if this is not for something where, you know, it really requires you to just get it over with, no, then shit, identify yourself properly at all times. And I tell you this, like I say every time, you can bypass all that stuff altogether, get your nationality card, and get your passport. Those are two forms of identification. Case closed. You're done for. You're good. You're right? So that where you can travel in any of these state territories, and you won't be under any of the jurisdictions of any of these corporate states. You'll automatically be outside of it under federal protection. And federal, remember, deals with treaties. So why wouldn't you want to be protected under your treaty? Don't you want to be protected under your treaty? I'm protected under my treaty. Why can't you be protected under your treaty? Why can't your treaty be good to you like it's good to me? Treaties ain't discriminating against us. Our treaties are sitting there collecting dust because we choose to be something that we're not. You know what I'm saying? And there's enough information now to realize that we've been gamed from a very young age by all these public agents and agencies like the public school system, etc., etc., etc. We need to go back into the private world. That's where we get harmed the less. Right? So with that being said, I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? You can reach me, suneluniversity@gmail.com, or you can call me or text me, 206-899-6972. If you have inquiries on declaring who you are, declaring your name and your nationality, man, it's crucial. And you don't need the permission of the state or any of its courts to do that. Just get your documents notarized and then stand on it as a man and as a woman. You know what I'm saying? We don't need permission of the state. Therefore, we don't need to let the state know shit about what we're doing. And there are avenues where we can still operate and function as long as we're doing it through our trust. You can still go register your car if you choose to, underneath your trust, protected underneath your treaties. There's still ways to operate. But the way to do that is through you need to get a passport ID as a national, not as a U.S. citizen. Not as a U.S. citizen. And honestly, if you want to know how to do that, there's a video I put up. It's on the Sunel University page. It's called How to Fill Out the Passport Form. The process of how to get your passport as a national. Okay? So check that out if you wish. Once again, it's on the Sunel University page. And like I said, I'm always going to be here, you know what I'm saying, sharing what I got to give until I can't give it no more. So with that being said, it's your brother Cool. Peace, love, and light. Islam to the family. One love.